Well, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. It's Wednesday, June 2nd.
Glad you are with us. We'll check in with Sarah Spivey in just a moment. Remember last hurricane season was so busy they ran out of names on the list and they went into the Greek alphabet. Well, interesting use of the Greek alphabet for COVID-19. And we haven't talked as much about COVID lately as the nation and the world gets a better grip on the pandemic.
So yeah, the World Health Organization has released a new naming system to identify the ever-growing number of COVID-19 variants.
That's right. So here's the new naming system. Previously known as the UK variant, it will now be called Alpha.
And better known as the South African variant will be named Beta.
There is a Brazilian COVID variant. That one will now be known as Gamma.
And formerly the Indian variant will be known as Delta.
They also list a number of variants of interest that have been identified across the world, such as Epsilon and Iota, both identified in the U.S. in March of this year.
And none of this will change the way scientists refer to the variants, but the new system hopes to make talking about these variants easier for the public and the media, and that's what the World Health Organization is reporting.
What's interesting here, and Sarah just brought this up right before we started talking about this, is that this year, they've done away with adding going to a Greek system as an alternate if they run out of hurricane names. So you have to wonder if one has to do with the other. That since the WHO is now naming these variants with the Greek alphabet, that would cause meteorologists worldwide to abandon going that way. It's possible.
Come up with a new system.
Hey, after last year, anything's possible at this point, right?
That's very true. Let's look at today's 9 at 9. The largest ship in the Iranian Navy caught fire and later sank in the Gulf of Oman overnight. Investigators are not sure how it happened.
Authorities in Miami are calling recent shootings there domestic terrorism. They're still searching for 3 suspects behind the latest attack that killed 2 and left 21 injured.
The world's largest meat processing company is dealing with production issues at all of its U.S. meat packing facilities after a cyber attack shut down JBS's beef processing plants in 8 states, Canada and Australia.
Today, President Joe Biden will update the nation on the progress of the White House's COVID response efforts. That comes as more states move closer to his goal of having 70% of adults vaccinated by July 4th.
Governor Greg Abbott is now threatening not to pay Democratic lawmakers who walked out on a legislative vote Sunday. Abbott is also now preparing to call a special session.
Governor Abbott has signed into law new legislation targeting protesters and restricting cities' abilities to reduce police budgets.
Amazon now says it is doing away with marijuana tests for job applicants, the company citing more states legalizing recreational pot or outlawing employers running the tests.
The big U.S. airlines preparing for business travelers to return. American Airlines says 47 of its 50 biggest corporate accounts plan to resume traveling before the end of the year.
The NBA playoffs continue tonight with 3 teams facing elimination in their best-of-7 series. The Memphis Grizzlies, New York Knicks, and Washington Wizards. And that's today's 9 at 9. And it's kind of pleasant out there. I went outside for my second dose of coffee.
It's really not bad at all as we go outside with live camera to bring Sarah Spivey in. So to kind of finish our chat about the Greek names, the World Meteorological Organization, they plan well in advance. For several years, they plan out hurricane storm names. Do they not?
They do. And what the rule was is that once you ran out of the alphabetical names, English alphabetical names, you would go into the Greek storms. It had only happened twice last year and in 2005. But now they've decided to go with a whole new list of English names instead of the Greek. And it's just an interesting coincidence that the WHO has decided to name those variants after the Greek alphabet. Now, I know we're a little tired of the rain, but the aquifer continues to respond very well to the rainfall, up 0.2 of a foot over the past 24 hours, now almost 7 feet above the June average. So doing well at the aquifer level. And of course, it's year-round watering right now. Not a pretty sight, though, when you look at the mold count. Molds are very high, 16,520 mold spores per cubic meter of air. Grass is present, but in low amounts. Now, it does feel pretty nice outside. It's not too humid out there. It's 72 degrees, and we have a decent amount of sunshine out there. It's 76 in Gonzales, 74 in Pleasanton, 73 in Hondo, and 70 in Kerrville. Most of the day today will be quiet. If you have morning, even all the way to the early afternoon, I really don't think we're going to run into too much as far as rain goes, but it's later this late afternoon and evening hours that we could have a few scattered storms. Tomorrow morning, though, there are hints that it could be a messy morning commute, so you may want to start planning in advance now, and it'll be soggy through the weekend as we continue to see an active weather pattern. Your forecast coming up soon. Mark and Steph.
Thank you, ma'am. TransGuide right now. We had some construction earlier this morning. I-35 at Nogalitos. Traffic looks normal as of 9:03 on your Wednesday morning.
Top stories we are following today: car break-ins, a shooting, and a chase ended with a man in handcuffs overnight. According to Balcones Heights Police Chief, this all started around 2:30 this morning. Officers patrolling a hotel at 410 in Fredericksburg when they saw a man believed breaking into cars. When the officers tried to stop him, they say he drove towards them. That's when one of the officers fired a shot at the man's car, but he kept driving. The officers chased him to the intersection of Williamsburg and Loma Linda Drive, where he crashed and took off running. SAPD was called in to help in the search using a helicopter. Eventually found him hiding in someone's backyard. He was not hurt and was taken into custody. A body found in a southeast Texas motel is believed to be that of a missing boy. A body discovered in a motel room in Jasper Tuesday night. Houston's police chief believes it is the remains of 6-year-old Samuel Olson. Olson's family reported him missing in May 27th. Officials said then the boy had last been seen at school back in April. Houston's police chief says a possible suspect is in custody. Back here at home, San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers looking for help tracking down an accused arsonist. Security cameras captured these images at the Gillette Square Apartments on the far south side. This is in the 600 block of Gillette, not far from Commercial and Loop 410. According to police, it was around 2:30 in the morning when the man was seen pouring some sort of flammable liquid on a car, then setting it on fire. These photos are all they have to go on in finding him. If you recognize this person, call Crime Stoppers, 210-224-STOP. There is up to $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. In your morning headlines, a fire department in mourning and body cam footage of the police arriving on the scene of that transit mass shooting in California. An officer is attacked on a street in broad daylight and a wrong-way driver. David Sears has more on all of those stories. Good morning, David.
And how long has it been since we've done a bear story?
It's been at least an hour or two. No, it's been more than that. It's
way too long.
Okay.
Way too long. We've got one for you. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, let's start with some tragedy at a fire station in California. An off-duty firefighter came to the firehouse, ended up shooting and killing a fellow firefighter, and then wounding another firefighter. It's all happening about 10 miles outside of Los Angeles. After the shooting, the suspect went back to his house, set it on fire, and then shot and killed himself.
No deputies fired, and we don't believe anybody else was at the location, so it appears to be self-inflicted.
The wounded firefighter is in critical but stable condition. New body cam video from officers arriving at the transportation building in Southern California right after that mass shooting last month. The officers were there in just 2 minutes after the first 911 call. They had to navigate the huge complex, making their way to the offices. An employee was able to escape the shooting. After checking him out, he offered them his card key to get inside. Once inside, the officer's still looking for the shooter. Now, this may disturb some of you. You're going to hear a gunshot apparently directed at the officers. Then moments later, 2 more shots. And that's the shooter taking his own life, they believe.
We get stimulus. Third floor. Third floor. Conference room.
The officers were able to make their way into that office where the shots came from. They found the suspect deceased. From the time they arrived until it was all over, it only took 10 minutes.
This protocol, I believe, saved lives. There are over 100 people in that area. He had a lot of additional ammunition. We'll never forget those innocent victims whose lives were taken by a crazed coward.
Yeah, 9 people lost their lives in that shooting. All right, here's some more disturbing security video on the street in San Francisco. A female police officer confronts a guy on the street, has him turn around, then all of a sudden he turns around and attacks the officer. Watch him get her on the ground here in just a second. And then he's able to like mash her face into the sidewalk. When he gets her down, here it comes right here. You can see him like pushing her face down and pushing her head down on that sidewalk. Seconds later, one guy comes to her and starts kicking the suspect. Then another guy eventually shows up. As many as 4 guys are trying to help that officer. They keep kicking and grabbing at the attacker, trying to pull him off of her. Finally, she is able to roll over and get the upper hand. About a minute later, more officers arrive and get the situation under control. The police union in San Francisco said they were very thankful to those guys who helped their officer. And now you are looking at a car heading south in the northbound lanes of the access road right down here. This is Highway 71. This driver is about to get on, and the driver eventually gets on that highway. Watch these cars start dodging her as she is driving down the highway. And this driver, Kelsey Peterson, she's causing cars to swerve. Watch this. Here comes a police car. He swerves. But right before he swerved, he saw her coming and he slowed down. You see that pickup truck right there? It hit the 18-wheeler wheels. This guy was pretty disturbed about what was going on, but eventually, the person in that car was able to get captured and stopped, and so everything is okay. The driver of the truck says his family flashed before his eyes. You can see it again here in just a second. He's got 2 kids and a wife, and he credits the trooper for being able to save him.
Without, Sergeant Cook there to kind of slow me down, I mean, I don't think this would have been a conversation we'd be having right now.
Now, here's the good news. The woman was stopped before she killed or injured anybody, including herself. She is behind bars. Ohio State Highway Patrol says she was driving with a suspended license, and she's accused of driving under the influence. This all happened about 9:15 in the morning. All right, this one's going to get your attention as well. A mama bear with her cubs on a wall. They're in a backyard. The dogs come out of the house and start barking, and she's trying to protect her cubs, so she's swiping at the dogs, and then all of a sudden, the young lady comes out of the house because the bear picked up one of the dogs by the vest, and she's like, "Get off my dog." So these two go at it for just a second. The girl was 17 years old. She goes running out of the house, and she just didn't hesitate. She said, I got to take care of my little dog.
In that moment, I don't have much time to think. I run over to the bear, and the first thing I think to do is to push the bear off the ledge it's standing on, and it will hopefully release my dog. And somehow, thank God, it works.
So you don't mess with these 2 women, because the bear, mama bear, is protecting her cubs.
Right.
And then Haley's protecting her dogs. So, it's like, y'all just split and go on your merry ways.
And that's what happened,
And that's what
luckily.
happened. So,
yeah.
There you go. Only 17 years old. She says, I'm getting my dog from that bear.
I mean,
Oh, my
clearly
goodness.
she did the calculation. If I push the bear now,
Yes.
it'll go over. What you don't see at the end is it hops right back up on the
Yes.
wall as she's running the other way.
Yeah.
No, and then the bear takes off.
But the bear
Yeah.
takes off
It
the other way.
finally takes off, yeah.
We'll just call it good.
Yeah, we'll call it good. Glad everything turned out okay.
2 mama bears right there.
Definitely.
Bear story, check.
Here we go. Got that one for you. It's been a while.
Okay.
I have a bear story.
We're going to see a little bit later on.
Yes.
Thank you, David. Right now, it is 9:11, about 74 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
A new episode of KSAT Explains now streaming. It's a look back at what has or hasn't changed in the years since the death of George Floyd.
Plus, a little late, RJ and David are back, bringing us the sports news we didn't have time to talk about yesterday. We're also updating the NBA playoffs and the backlash on that young tennis star taking a stand and walking away from the French Open.
And the future of space technology and the lunar economy starting right here in San Antonio. I'm Max Massey. We're going to explain right after the break.
9:15, welcome back. Did you know San Antonio is at the forefront of the lunar economy? Yes, the lunar economy. We're talking about projects and future projects on the moon.
Max Massey joins us live from the Astroport facility at Port San Antonio. And Max, you say the Astroport is now partnered with NASA for a fascinating project.
Yes, guys, this is so exciting. If you can't tell, it has been a heck of a morning. We're learning a lot. We get to check out a lot of technology. This robot is really the brain behind the operation. It actually partners with technology. In the next room is proprietary technology, so we can't show all of it. That's how exciting and new this stuff is, but this is the way it works. The idea is these robots will collect rock from the moon. It's going to be on the moon. This is what it symbolizes. It's about 90% of what moon rocks look like. It grinds it down, and then it melts it into something that looks like this. Then they take what is melted up there, and they form this. This is what it'll turn into. And they do all this with a 3D printer. So this robot here, this robot does it all. It's pretty much autonomous. It does it all. And then at the end, it'll form this sheet, which turns into a lunar launch pad. Very complicated process, but it is an exciting process. It's happening right here in San Antonio. We talked with Sam Jimenez of Astroport yesterday. Take a listen to what he had to say.
And it's a robotic construction application. We use autonomous robotics to place the bricks in a one-step process, essentially, which is what was the key element we believe that was attracted to NASA. We take the soil, we melt it, we form it, and we place the brick all in one step, which saves time and saves energy costs as well.
All right, and so what you just heard, he kind of broke down what people can expect. They are partnering with NASA, UTSA, Southwest Research Institute, and the screen, what you see on your screen right now, that is what they are calling the space map, the future of the technology on the moon. And speaking of which, guys, it seems like this technology is inevitable. Take a look at this. This is a scale model. This is all built out of the same material that is found on the moon, 3D printed. And they're telling me here at Astroport, they're telling me that they think lunar habitats could be possible within the next 3 to 5 years. So this is all happening here in San Antonio. Technology, some of the first steps of headed to the moon, again, living on the moon. So Mark, Stephanie, you guys going to be moving to the moon anytime soon?
Well, not me.
Not me.
No, I'm chicken, although it sounds very cool and very fast. Wow, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's cool that San Antonio is going to be a part of that, those future endeavors.
Yeah, that's very cool.
All right, Max Massey out at Port SA, at the Astroport at Port SA. Thanks, Max.
I know Sarah Spivey wouldn't mind, though. Right?
To the moon?
Going to the moon.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? And maybe in 3 to 5 years, you'll see a KSAT newscast from the moon.
It's possible. Right? Anything's possible at this point.
Who knows? All right. Well, we are going to be continuing to see the chance for rain on and off again over the next several days. But today, that chance for rain isn't going to come until potentially the later afternoon and even evening hours. So most of the day today will be fairly quiet. Waking up to 72 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, but there are pockets of sunshine all out there right now. Northeast winds at about 5 miles per hour, showing you the satellite, and you can see that it's actually totally sunny out in Seguin, totally sunny in Gonzales and in Canyon Lake. But around San Antonio, we are seeing waves of clouds moving in and out, and so it's fairly mostly cloudy out there right now. And we're not seeing any rainfall out there other than potentially a few sprinkles here and there. And out toward Del Rio, nice and cloudy there as well. Toward Rock Springs, temperatures are in the 70s. Now, this is fairly average for this time of year to start off the day in the 70s. 72 in San Antonio, 75 in New Braunfels, 72 in Kerrville, and 73 in Hondo. What's not average is the fact that we have not seen a 90-degree day in almost a month. So we've been able to see cooler temperatures in the afternoon, although it has been warm. Not dealing with the 90s, though, as far as temperatures go, and I think we'll stay below 90 degrees today as well. Quiet around San Antonio at the moment, but you zoom out and you can see the complex of storms that's moving into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is along a shortwave in the atmosphere, and these short waves produce random bursts of energy that we have to watch here in San Antonio to see where this energy goes as far as storm chances go. And what I think is going to happen today, as I mentioned, is that things will be fairly quiet for most of the day today, but by about 6 p.m. we'll be needing to watch up into the hill country where there will be some storms, seeing how far those make it south and how they impact San Antonio. I think there could be a 40% chance for scattered showers and storms after 6 p.m. tonight, with our eyes out to the west in the overnight hours as storms will develop out to the west. By tomorrow morning, I do think that the morning commute could be a little messy. We could be dealing with heavy rainfall, flashes of lightning. Severe weather in the morning is not likely, but flash flooding could be possible, especially south of Highway 90. Tomorrow, we'll go for a 60% chance for showers and storms. So here's how today is going to look. 75 at 10. At noon, we'll be at 80 degrees. Afternoon, that's when we'll introduce a chance for isolated rain. 85 for the high. And then toward the evening hours, 40% chance for scattered showers and storms. Light and variable winds. It's going to be a warm and muggy day, but we aren't going to have to deal with the 90s. Then an upper level low, which has pretty much parked itself over Baja California, is going to slowly start to eject towards San Antonio in the east, and that's going to keep our rain chances high through the weekend. So look at the rain chances here. 40% later today, 60 tomorrow, 60 Friday, 60 Saturday, and then we'll slowly start to see those rain chances taper off. I mentioned that tomorrow morning could be potentially rainy. Now this is the look through Friday morning rainfall totals. South of Highway 90, fairly high probability for up to 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. And then look at this, through the weekend, we could see pockets of up to 4 inches of rainfall. And that's why I'm concerned about the potential for flash flooding. I know it's been about a 24-hour break of rain here in San Antonio, but we can't let our guard down yet.
No, we can't. Thank you, Sarah.
Right now, it's just about 9:22.
And after the break, RJ Marquez and Myra Arthur will give us the breakdown of what they learned putting together the latest KSAT Explains episode, looking into what has or hasn't changed in San Antonio since the national call for racial justice. And welcome back. It's about 9:25. It's been more than a year since the death of George Floyd. The deadly police encounter opened the eyes of many across the country and here in San Antonio. The
latest episode of KSAT Explains looks at what's actually changed since then. Here's RJ Marquez and Myra Arthur with a preview.
It has now been more than a year since the killing of George Floyd, and that video that was unbearable to watch, but that we all as a nation witnessed. And the conversations, the demonstrations, the change, the push for change, all sparked by that one incredibly tragic incident. We're taking a look back at what has happened and what hasn't in the past year, not only across the country, but right here in San Antonio when it comes to race in our community, inequities in our community, and police accountability.
Yeah, Myra, it's hard to believe that it's been already more than a year since we had that horrible incident with George Floyd. And looking back, we talked to our own journalists that were on the ground for the protest that happened here in San Antonio. And we also talked to people that were part of Prop B. Of course, that was a huge hot button issue during the elections, the recent election cycle, and also the declaration of racism as a public health crisis. So we wanted to look back at all these different topics that have really kind of shaped where we are at this point in time.
And also taking a look back, but a look forward as well. You mentioned that declaration the city passed back in August of 2020, declaring racism as a public health crisis in San Antonio. We haven't seen a lot come from that in the months since. So we talked to city leaders, Metro Health, about what is coming down the pike. What is the plan? What plans do they have in place to actually make changes as a result of that declaration? So we're looking forward to tell you why you haven't seen any concrete action up to this point. What has Metro Health and the city been doing since that declaration, and where do they plan to go from here?
Yeah, and also local activists as well that were a part of this, that want to see change. Many of them say that it's been a slow progress, but I think there's been a balancing between what can be done and maybe what is ahead in the future. So I think taking all these things into consideration and really seeing where we are right now, it's hard to believe 1 year later after the protest and the murder of George Floyd.
If you'd like to check out this episode, it is available to stream anytime on demand right now at ksat.com/explains or the KSAT TV app.
The past year has been difficult for a lot of people, including members of the LGBTQ+ community, from the pandemic to the anti-transgender legislation in the state legislature.
Today, Steve Spriester and Isis Romero will be holding a town hall to discuss the meaning of Pride Month in San Antonio. They'll be joined by two panelists to talk about issues facing the LGBTQ plus community and the impact bills in the legislature could have.
If there's anything you would like to hear discussed, you can submit your questions right now on KSAT.com, and you can watch on KSAT.com and on the KSAT TV streaming app available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, Roku, and any way you stream.
Also happening today, VIA asking for your input on the future of transportation in San Antonio.
They're holding a virtual public meeting today and tomorrow at 7. So today's meeting will be in English and tomorrow's will be in Spanish. Riders and residents will be able to share their input on more than 20 route changes.
You can find a link to join the meeting on our website at KSAT.com.
And if you're looking for a place to get your COVID-19 vaccine, you don't have to look far. There are plenty of vaccine clinics happening and popping up around town this week.
In fact, there are 4 happening today. One's going on right now till noon at the House of Prayer Lutheran Church. That's in 10,000 block of Ironside Drive on the north side.
And another is about to start at 10 over at Raíces at 802 Kentucky on the west side. Both of these locations will be giving out the Pfizer vaccine.
Second Baptist Church hosting their own clinic today from 1 to 6. They're at 3310 East Commerce on the east side. They have not determined what kind of vaccine is available.
And you can also visit San Pedro Presbyterian at the 14,900 block of San Pedro Avenue from 5 to 8 tonight for the Pfizer vaccine. Now, all of these are on our website, along with a list of about 15 others happening throughout the week. You can just go to KSAT.com for the full list.
There is more ahead on GMSA at 9.
The regular legislative session has come to an end. However, some of the governor's bills didn't make it across the finish line. Alana Rocha with the Texas Tribune will join us next to break it all down.
The 2021 legislative session is now over. However, some of the governor's priority bills did not make it across the finish line.
And Republicans say they'll tweak part of a Texas elections bill criticized for its impact on black churchgoers. Alana Rocha with the Texas Tribune joins us now to break down the regular session. Good morning, Alana.
Good morning.
The regular session of the 87th legislature is a wrap, one of the most conservative in recent memory, but some of the governor's priority bills didn't pass. The Trib has been tracking which passed and failed. What stood out to you among the list?
Well, I mean, the list that's not yet final because, of course, the governor has the power of the veto pen for the next 3 weeks or so. So we'll definitely be watching there on which bills that did make it to his desk will get that stroke of that pen. But yeah, I mean, several conservative wins, as you were saying, permitless carry, of course, the heartbeat bill that he's already signed into law, and a host of other measures, critical race theory as well, and regulating that or banning that from teachings in public school. But one that is still the talk of the town, if you will, is just the Democrats' success in eliminating the voting bill.
And speaking of Senate Bill 7, the bill that would have placed new restrictions on nearly every aspect of the voting process, Republicans are vowing to tweak the part that would have disproportionately affected black churchgoers. How?
Well, because they would have limited the hours or the starting time, if you will, for voting on Sundays. That one Sunday in early voting that happens from 11 a.m. or from in the morning till 1 p.m. And one of the negotiators behind closed doors went on NPR and said it actually was a typo and it should have been 11 a.m. But the bill's author in the Senate defended the 1 p.m., saying that election workers want to go to church too. So, I think Democrats have no regrets in what they did on Sunday night because a lot of these last minute provisions, didn't go through the normal process of getting a public hearing and hearing from different stakeholders and people in the community. And they got a lot of pushback in the final hours, especially with regard to this, provision that seemed to target the souls to the polls where black congregations, kind of encourage their parishioners to go vote after church on Sunday. So that's one that they are walking back, and we'll see what else comes to light ahead of a special session.
Well, we're going to skip our third question, Alana, because we want to talk to you more about this being your last update from the Trib. You're starting a new role over there. Tell us about that. Yeah,
the Tribune's all about news partnerships, and I am going to be heading that field. Of course, I've been doing that in some realm with you and others on these Thursday mornings. I do some 8 lives on TV stations around the state. But there's that. So we'll be hopefully lining up somebody else, one of my colleagues, to start coming on potentially. But also I'm getting back to family in Florida for the first time in 18 months. So I'm hoping to go offline altogether for at least a couple weeks.
That's very cool. Well, Alana, we want to thank you for all your reports, and we wish you the best in your new role.
Thank you for everything, Alana, and our best to you and your family.
Thank you. The family, the kids you heard in the background slightly there during that hit.
We've got to know you guys during the pandemic.
It's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, well, congratulations on the promotion, and we hope to see you sometime in the future.
Yeah, and enjoy being offline.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye. And taking a look outside with live cam, it's looking okay right now.
Yeah.
For Global Running Day, I guess we can beat the rain maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you can go running today. That's fine if you want to. I probably will sit on the couch. But. By the way, I was able to ask on my Instagram who is tired of the rain and who loves it, and I was surprised by the results. It was pretty much half and half. And I want to talk about the good things, though, about the rain that we've seen over the last 3-4 weeks. Let's start with the aquifer, shall we? All right, so the aquifer, our ever important source of water. Whenever we get rain, we really want it to fall on the recharge zone, which is this little purple strip, and the contributing zone, which is the red part you see here in the hill country. I've outlined here where we want that rain to fall. Look at where the rain has fallen since Friday. Boom, right in that sweet spot. We were really excited that we were able to get some of that rain on the contributing and the recharge zones. And the aquifer is doing great. It's up 0.2 of a foot over the past 24 hours, up to almost 670 feet. It's been up 20.5 feet since April. So that is some good news there in the aquifer. Also some good news. Usually in June, we see a high temperature, an average high temperature of 91 degrees. We've been somewhere in this zone for the past several weeks, not really able to hit 90 degrees because we've had cloud cover and the rain. But there is more rain in the forecast, and I know some of us are tired of it. Today, though, that rain will wait until the late afternoon and evening hours when we will have a few scattered storms. However, in the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, there are indications that it could be a pretty messy morning commute for us here in San Antonio, and then we'll be soggy through the weekend. So a lot to talk about in the forecast, but there was some good news for you coming up.
Thank you, Sarah. The NBA playoffs are well underway, and while the Spurs are not in the postseason, there's been a reason for some San Antonio fans to cheer. The Lakers are losing.
Losing. David and RJ here to talk about the latest headlines of the postseason and much more in the sports world. Guys?
Been a while since Stephanie's been so happy.
Yeah.
Mark's been so happy. Like, wow. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
the Lakers losing.
They're not just
Brings
losing,
us
they're
all joy.
losing big.
Yeah,
Oh, they did last
Let's all
night.
bask in the Lakers' misery this morning as they have fallen big to the Phoenix Suns, one of the surprise teams of the year. And it was pretty ugly last night for the Lakers. They end up getting blown out here by about 30 points.
They got outscored in the second quarter 32-10. They were down 66-36 at halftime. Of course, Anthony Davis didn't play last night. Remember the other night he hurt himself and didn't play the second half. And so he didn't play at all last night. That's too bad.
Interesting things, a couple of interesting things from this game. Of course, Anthony Davis missing this game. That is the other All-Pro player for the Lakers. Charles Barkley yesterday was nicknaming him Street Clothes Davis. He said Street Clothes. And another thing, LeBron actually walked off the court with 5 minutes left. He's been getting a lot of flack of that. 5 minutes left in the game.
When you got that kind of attitude, then you leave.
Yeah.
The thing about LeBron is after tomorrow, when they lose to the Suns and are out of the playoffs, LeBron will still only have 4 NBA championships.
Yeah.
Just 4. Remember, Tim Duncan has 5.
Yes.
Right.
LeBron James will only have.
And Tim never needed a whammy.
No.
LeBron.
No.
And Tim never walked off the court with 5 minutes left in a game either.
Exactly.
Yes.
You made Stephanie's point for me.
There we go. Yeah, definitely basking in that. We just saw some highlights there. Of course, Kawhi Leonard now with the Clippers, another former Spur there. That series is tied 2-2 with Dallas. Game 5 of that series is tonight. That looked for a while there like the Clippers were not going to win that series, but.
And you guys remember Lamarcus Aldridge used to play for the San Antonio Spurs. He came here hoping he would win a championship, and of course then he left earlier this season, and he's now retired because of some heart issues. But some interesting comments from him about when they played with, remember when they were playing with Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi got hurt? Mm-hmm. He had come here because he thought with Kawhi Leonard he would win a championship, and he thought that was going to be a great run right there in the playoffs. And here he is talking about that.
Yeah, first time since his abrupt retirement that he gave an interview to The Athletic, and he said that he really felt like 2017 was the best year that for him to win a championship. And of course, we all remember Zaza Pachulia taking out Kawhi Leonard in that series. It was really a shame because the Spurs really, I thought, had a good chance to beat Golden State there.
All right. Also, some strange news this week.
Yeah.
A tennis player leaves a tennis tournament because she doesn't want to talk to the media. She says that she's having some mental health issues, which is understandable. We feel for her on that. She was fined $15,000 because she refused to talk to the media after her first round match that she won, and she left. Her name is Naomi Osaka.
Yes.
Her sister is kind of supporting her and said that she was catching a lot of flack from even a family member about how she couldn't play on the clay courts in the French Open, and even the media kept pounding on her about how she's not very successful. She's won the Australian Open and she's won the U.S. Open, but hasn't done very well in the French Open. So,
well, I mean, this was interesting. It's gotten a lot of back and forth because she's the number 2 ranked player, tennis player in the world, and she basically said that I didn't want to do media, and the French Open was basically saying that, you know what, we're going to fine you. We may even kick you out of the tournament before you decide to bail out of this. So she said she wanted to focus on her mental health and well-being, which is very good for her. Of course, we've seen even Spurs players like DeMar DeRozan speak out on these types of things. So good for her. But I just don't know if moving forward she's going to be able to just not talk to the media.
Not talk to the media.
Especially in these big events.
And these days, that they may be able to make some accommodations for her so she can get back on the tennis court. She's obviously missed on the tennis court, one of the top players in the world right now. And then the irony of this whole thing is the head of the French Tennis Federation held a press conference talking about her. He had sent out a tweet and caught all kinds of flack for the way he did it, talking about her. So then he holds a press conference to address that tweet and kind of, smooth things over a little bit. Doesn't take any questions. Just leaves.
Wow.
So
I don't think he was catching grief.
So he didn't want to do a presser either.
Didn't want to do a presser either. I don't think he fined himself $15,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, did he get fined?
No, that's the irony of this whole thing.
That is a strange twist. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I had a question about the Lamarcus interview, but it's going to have to wait.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, RJ. David, thank you guys.
I hope it wasn't a really good question.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It can wait or just disappear. About 9:44 on your Wednesday morning.
You're watching GMSA at 9, and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. It's about 9:47 and pretty pleasant outside for, June 2nd.
Let's see what else is in the air this morning with an updated pollen count.
That's exactly right, Mark. And you know what, Stephanie, we have seen a lot of rain. We're happy for it, but the pollen count shows the downside of a lot of rainfall today. Very high in the molds department, past 16,000 mold spores per cubic meter of air. Grass is present but in low amounts, but the reason for your sneezing is that mold. Now right now outside, 77 degrees, partly cloudy. It's not too bad out there. It's a little humid, dew points in the upper 60s, but that's not oppressively humid. Winds are generally light and variable, 73 in Comfort, 72 in Kerrville, 73 in Canyon Lake, 73 in Hondo, and 76 in Devine. If you have outdoor plans today and you want to avoid the rain chances look best today in the later afternoon and evening hours. So keep that in mind. And of course, we'll show you the future cast as well. Although it's relatively sunny near the airport and near Seguin, we are seeing clouds moving on in from the south. So today is going to be a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy day. Temperatures are going to warm up steadily into the 80s. And we'll be watching this complex of storms in North Texas very carefully. It's forming along a shortwave in the atmosphere that produces pretty random weather patterns. And so that's why we've been keeping a chance for rain at about 40% today, because it looks like with daytime heating and into the afternoon, we are going to be able to see some storms develop in the later afternoon and early evening hours, particularly up in the hill country. And we'll keep an eye on those as they try to make it to San Antonio by the late evening, close to midnight hours. Then our attention is going to turn to the west and to the north, where another another complex of storms is going to develop. And today, this afternoon, late afternoon and evening hours, some of the storms could be on the stronger side, but severe weather is the second concern. The first concern is going to be for heavy rain on already soggy grounds, which could lead to some flooding. Then tomorrow morning, I mentioned this earlier, we could have a pretty messy morning commute as far as showers and storms are concerned, with the risk for some flooding, especially along and south of Highway 90. But so if you have early morning plans tomorrow, maybe give yourself an extra 15 minutes to get things done, just because that morning commute could be a little soggy. And then tomorrow, I think we have a better chance for rain than today, about 60%. So today, for your Wednesday, 75 at 10, 80 at noon, 85 for the afternoon high, 20 to 30% chance for an isolated shower or storm in the afternoon, but it's in the late afternoon and evening hours that we'll see scattered showers and storms, light and variable winds. An upper level low over Baja California is going to try to push east throughout the remainder of the week and into the weekend. And so as it does so, notice how we're going to see rounds and rounds of potentially heavy rains through the weekend, especially Friday night into Saturday. As that low moves overhead, we have a good chance for more widespread rain around that time. When all is said and done, including tomorrow morning through the weekend, there could be pockets of up to 4 inches of rain. That's what this red color is. The orange color, even higher amounts, potentially 5 to 7. That will lead to some flooding issues, and we'll keep you informed. The KSAT Weather Authority app is your friend during an active weather pattern like this. It looks like things could start to wind down by the start of next week, and I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit of a break from the rain, but all in all, grateful to have some rain to stock up for the summer months.
Very true. Thank you, Sarah.
9:51, about 77 degrees.
We'll be right back.
I'm Max Massey. Tomorrow morning on the GMSA at 9 a.m. in the Teacher Spotlight, we highlight a local chemistry teacher, an award-winning chemistry teacher who has not only had to pivot, has done so flawlessly, keeping the experiments alive and keeping his students engaged.
We'll introduce a chance for isolated rain after lunch, and then after 5 p.m., scattered showers and storms are going to be possible. Keep that weather app handy, because if you do have outdoor plans, you'll want to check on the radar to see where those storms are. 85 degrees for the high temperature. Rain chances go up tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. 60% chance for scattered showers and storms. There could be pockets of up to 4 inches of rain falling in places, which could lead to issues with some flash flooding. Temperatures are going to stay below average, however, which is the positive side to this forecast. And then looking into next week, we'll be able to see things gradually come to an end by the middle of the week.
I've lost track of the number of stories we've talked about where states or even companies are offering incentives to people to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
Yeah, so now New Mexico's jumping on the bandwagon, is unveiling $5 million for a COVID-19 vaccination prize for one lucky resident.
Yeah, one would be the largest cash incentive offered in the country so far in hopes of beating back the ongoing pandemic.
Yeah, so Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham said vaccinated people can now enter the state's Vax to the Max sweepstakes, which will also award $10 million throughout the summer.
4 winners will be selected each week for 5 weeks and given $250,000 in cash before a final grand prize winner is drawn in early August.
And entrants must be 18 years or older and have received at least 1 shot of a COVID-19 vaccine.
And that's not all. New Mexicans receiving shots at vaccine sites across the state will be eligible for staycations, state parks, museum passes, and even more. So another state, as you said, jumping on the vaccination bandwagon.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm moving to New Mexico.
I know. See, David Sears would be upset about this one as well. He's like, what about us? Have a great day, guys.